It's hot, where we talk about stories that have everybody talking.
We are joined by local blogger Rochelle Fritsch. Jeff Wagner back with us. A California teacher in hot water after comments she made on Twitter. Some of her tweets said, quote, "Y'all think you can hate us teachers. Guess what? We feel the same about some of you. We're just not allowed to show it." And, quote, "I already want to stab some kids. Is that bad?" The school reprimanded the teacher, but is still allowed to teach. She's still going to be allowed to teach. Your thoughts on all of this?
Well, welcome to 2014. Look, I have no doubt that there were, back in the day, a lot of my teachers that probably got together on Friday night over a couple beers and said a lot of the same things to each other, maybe even about me. But the difference was they said it among themselves. They didn't put it out for the entire world to see on Twitter or Facebook, where it suddenly becomes an issue. I think, obviously, the teacher was wrong here. At the same time, unless there was any evidence that she was doing anything other than blowing off steam, I don't think you fire her.
Well, you definitely don't fire her, but I think it points to a larger issue. Teachers now are of a different generation, so they have a different way of communicating. Social media is definitely one of those things. I think the school boards, nonprofits, whatever, need to be out ahead of this, and you put a policy together that says, as a teacher of this school district, you may or may not, whatever, but make some parameters so there's not this gray area, should they, shouldn't they, that kind of thing to begin with.
But this has nothing to do with the question, but I don't really understand why people think this is a good idea. Just don't go on social media, phone a friend and complain like we used to do, and then there's no problem.
That's just it. It's a different generation, Courtney. I'll get on the phone with somebody, but I'm not of that generation. I think this new generation, it's about social media, saying what you think, being a little snarky while you're doing it.
And then having everybody kind of
and
prop you up by their support comments. I don't know.
Take it away from teachers. It's not just teachers. It's anybody. You know, you get together on Friday night over a couple beers, and you can complain about your boss, but you go to Facebook or the social media and you start talking about how you hate your boss. It's going to have adverse consequences.
Did our teacher here cross the line, though, when she tweeted out that she wanted to get stabby with some of her kids?
Well, you know what? I think if you're not connected to Twitter and that kind of quote-unquote snark, yeah, it sounds like crossing the line.
If a student tweeted, "I'm going to stab some of my classmates," what's going to happen to that student?
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
But to Rochelle's point, we heard in a story on this that we aired a little while ago, her students or people in the school were really said, she should have a little bit of discipline, but we still want her here. We still like her. She's a great teacher. So maybe they understand that snark.
I'm just willing to bet a lot of my teachers sat around over a beer and said, "I wish we could strangle that so-and-so."
Not you.
Know? Well, just saying.
They had a tip jar in the teacher's lounge with my name on it. Coming up next, we're going to reveal the viewer's choice topic of the day.
Brian got her back with another look at a rainy forecast to start up. More of what's hot in our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we are joined by Rochelle Fritsch and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. Viewer's choice topic today. An Oklahoma elementary school memo has some parents upset. The memo says children are allowed only 2 bathroom breaks a day. It says if a student misses class to go to the bathroom, they'll have to miss that amount of time from recess. Your thoughts on this? Do you think there was maybe a problem at the school with people abusing the bathroom?
Well, yeah, I would think so. I mean, a policy like that doesn't come out of no place. Now, by the same token, if they're going to enforce this policy, then these teachers better be prepared for the accidents that will ensue. So have the policy, but also have a mop bucket at the ready.
I think this was well intended, and I understand when you present it like we have, and you see the headline, and it sounds kind of silly. What they're trying to do is they're trying to teach the kids some sense of time management, and I think anybody who's ever dealt with large groups of small children understands it's like herding cats. And so what they're trying to do is say, okay, we're going to set aside 2 times for bathroom breaks, and then everybody in the class is going to go, as opposed to everybody raising their hand every 5 minutes and saying, "I got to go." That being said, especially when you're dealing with little kids, when they got to go, they got to go. So you've got to make exceptions. But I'm going to cut them at least a little slack for being well intended.
But I mean, to me, isn't that just the norm? I remember being in primary grades, and there was a certain time that we'd go and a certain time that we wouldn't go.
Everybody would like line up.
Right. So I don't know. It just seems a little odd.
I'm not sure what to say.
What can you say to that?
I don't know.
I'm just so far removed. I don't. You guys remember like lining up to go to the bathroom?
I think I remember that. I'm younger than you, Jeff.
I had a teacher in high school. He would let you go to the, if you needed to go in the middle of class, he would let you go, but you had to carry a toilet seat with you.
No.
And that was, I mean, because if you really had to go,
well, yeah,
you would willingly walk down the hallway holding a toilet seat. It was a private school.
Who keeps a toilet seat, though? That's my
question.
question.
You go to Home Depot, you spend $15 on a toilet seat.
I'm done.
We just got a pass in public school.
Yeah.
I don't know, went to the bathroom. Time for our lightning round. Would you be willing to be zapped with a stun gun for a picture? That's exactly what 80 people did. A photographer took pictures of people getting zapped by either a friend or a loved one. The photographer said he wanted portraits, so it wasn't posed. Would you do this?
Okay, this is somebody desperately in need of their 15 minutes of fame, you know, trying to do this. But see, no, I wouldn't do this. But here's the deal. This could be the next thing that replaces the ice bucket challenge, you know, and that's kind of jumping the shark now. Maybe it would be one of these things where people could take up a collection. They get I mean, how many thousands of dollars would people pay to have, say, Steve Chamraz zapped or Jeff Wagner zapped? Maybe we could raise money for charity. At least get something out of this.
I own a taser.
You own a taser?
Jeff, I'll bring it in on Monday. What's it worth?
What? No, not for me to be zapped. No, people have to put in money. We donate it to charity. No, I'm not doing it for. What, you want me to pay you to zap me?
He owns a taser.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This has totally gone off the rails. What?
Yeah.
Taser?
Doesn't
Rochelle,
everybody?
do we even want to know?
No, I did not need to know this today.
All right.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I think we've handled those topics nicely.
But if you want to get tased, you know who to go to now.
All right, the What's Hot discussion will continue online. Find that page at TMJ.